let's take it all the way back then. Let's take the lies to where they go back to, and that's George Bush and these whole wars to begin with.
Yes.
You know, let's not let him off the hook either, because he's the one that put us in these wars. He's the one, 9/11 happened on his watch. And so to me, it goes back to Cheney, Bush, Rove, and that whole cast of characters even more so than Barack Obama.
Certainly. Look, I've exposed them, but at the end of the day, Barack Obama saying, I don't need Congress to launch an attack in Libya. Then
I agree. You know, don't get me wrong. I'm an equal despiser of both the Democrats and Republicans, but I like to keep people focused on that they shouldn't have just 1 or 2 year memories, that these memories need to go back at least a decade.
No, I agree with you. Shifting gears into another area, when I was talking to you the other day, you said, Alex, I'm like a honey badger. I just don't care anymore.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, Alex, it's my patriotism to this government is literally shredded. I don't have any anymore. To the government. To the government that runs this country, I have no more patriotism for them, and it's a sad thing to hear myself say that.
Well, it's been taken over.
But I have no loyalty to this government of the United States anymore. Because now to the people of this country, that's different. To the country, it's like my T-shirt that I sell now, Alex. You get it on my website. It says, I love my country, not my government. And it's got Jesse Ventrua written right on it, and I proudly wear that shirt. I love my country, not my government. And the government is made up of Democrats and Republicans. Both.
Well, Gov, let's get into the TSA before we get into 2012
Sure.
right now. You said that you're going to make a big announcement if the judge throws out your case without even letting it go to trial. I talked to you last week. You said that you were happy to talk, but it's just your lawyer and your opinion, but that it looks like the fact that she has waited so long that your lawyer thinks that might actually lean towards the fact that she's getting it ready to make sure that it does go to trial.
Well, we don't know. There's no way to judge, Alex. You can, when it comes to federal judges, throw everything out the window. They're all different. You can't, you have thoughts that, well, they're taking a long time, so obviously she's studying the case real well. Well, you'd like to believe that, but it might just be maybe she went on vacation and hasn't got to it. I don't know. With federal judges, you have no idea. All I can state is this. Any case like this has been ruled upon faster than this one. This is the longest any judge has held on to a case right now. I can state that unequivocally because it's been over 2 months. I went into court, I believe it was July 22nd or 21st, something like that. It was a couple days after my birthday. That's why I had to get back to Minnesota from L.A., which I had to drive, of course, because I can't fly. And so I drove back to Minnesota and got back the night before I had to go into court. And so we went into court. It was like July 21st or something like that. Well, here we are already past September 21st, and there's no ruling yet. So it's been well over 60 days. Generally, rulings always happen within 90. I'd like to believe mine will also. And when she rules, we'll know. But you can't read anything into anything with the federal judge, Alex, because they're all different. But I just think that she hasn't thrown it out, and that's the good thing.
Now, you're saying you're going to make a big announcement if
it's thrown out, I will definitely call a press conference. Absolutely. If my case is thrown, if they will not let me go in front of a jury and have a trial over my Fourth Amendment constitutional rights, then I absolutely will have a press conference.
Well, I think that's important to do. And then also you said you'd pop in here after the press conference. But I hope the case goes forward, because if it doesn't, this country is in deep trouble.
I would think so, too. I mean, although I have to tell you there was a vicious letter to the editor up here in the St. Paul paper criticizing me for tangling up our court system with such a frivolous, stupid thing.
Well, Jesse, there's a reason nobody reads those rags anymore. They had a USA Today poll last week, 85% are against what the TSA is doing and don't want the NFL under Homeland Security pressure to start having private security grab your wife's breasts, your genitals. They say everything will be groped from the ankles up. What's your view of that, Governor?
It's already happening. It's already happening, Alex. I'm a season ticket holder with the Minnesota Lynx, you know, the women's basketball team.
Yes.
And 2 times in the last 2 games I've gone down there, they've stopped me to warn me. And the first one, the guy stopped me because I had my wallet and my keys in my front pocket. And he stopped me and said, "Excuse me, what's in your front pocket?" And I looked at the kid, and I said, "I'm the damn governor." I said, "Don't make me have to sue you like I'm suing TSA." I said, "What difference does it make? I used to be the governor here. You know, use some common sense, young man." And I chewed his ass out. I showed him, I said, "It's my wallet and my car keys." And then I got it again the last game. Well, technically, I guess they can do it because they're private industry.
Yeah, but now they're saying it's going to be in shopping malls with TSA, Governor. And to be clear, because you may have missed it, all NFL games, you're going to actually get the genital grope that you talk about in your lawsuit that I've witnessed you go under at the, and Ron Paul said it's happened to him, at the Atlanta airport. I mean, they are saying now that they're going to grab the breast of your wife, everything. That's it. I'm not taking my wife and kids to a football game.
I would like to know how they expect to get the people in the stands by kickoff.
No, that's what they said last week. They said add 4 hours to get in. They're saying get there 4 hours early now.
Well, then when I would just say this, if they do that, then I advocate a boycott of the National Football League and leave their stadiums empty.
Incredible.
Leave their stadium. You know, that's what this country needs to do to rise up. We, the people, have to start speaking back. And it can be done simply. How about a day of the year where nobody flies?
Yes.
I would love to see that happen.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that.
I would be a promoter of it.
Okay, listen, we talked about this 6 months ago. We talked about it 2 months ago. Let's pick a date, Governor, right now, and let's announce the National No-Fly Day. What really scares them is the opt-out day. How about we, National No-Fly Day, National Opt-Out Week. Let's pick a peak time. Let's pick Thanksgiving, the week of Thanksgiving.
No, not enough time to promote it, Alex. I think that to do something like this, you need to go at least a year and let it build up.
Okay.
I would tell you, how about on our nation's birthday next year, the 4th of July?
Okay, that's a good date.
See, to me, that would be better because that way it gives it time to gain momentum.
Yeah, that way it's like 9 months. Okay, let's do it.
But I will all be for it. I mean, it's time for the people to stand up and tell these people that we're supposed to be a country of the people, by the people, and for the people. Not them. You know, right now, we're subservient to the government. Our forefathers did not have that in mind. That isn't what this country was supposed to be. The government was supposed to be subservient to us.
Well, Governor, you always make the point of you'd rather face the danger. I mean, you can't stop a killer at a school or a killer at a mall.
Let me tell you something, Alex. They're putting the people in danger at the airport. Can I explain why?
Sure.
All right, here's why. When I was in the teams, they taught us to think like our opponents, the enemy. If I were a suicide bomber, do you know where I'd go to blow up the most amount of people?
I'd go to the check-in line.
Exactly. You can walk right in from the outside. You can get in that line. There'll be at least 300 people because it S's in the whole floor. You wait till you get right in the middle. No one's checked you at that point. No one's done anything to you at that point. And you're in a crowd of 300 people, you then blow yourself up.
It's like if there's ever a killing in a cornfield, are they going to say we've got to have random TSA in cornfields because a rattlesnake killed somebody in one? This idea that...
Well, not even a rattlesnake. Let's say a terrorist gets somebody in the cornfield.
Yeah, so now every cornfield in the country has to have TSA.
Yeah, has to, and you got to be frisked before you're allowed to go out into the cornfield. You know, the point, and it begs the bigger question, Alex, which is this, and this is the part of my court case that begs the bigger question. Why security for the airlines when the airlines are private sector businesses?
I agree with you. Well,
why not have the airlines provide their own security? That way, you as a customer, like myself, up here, it's Delta. Delta bought out Northwest. 90% if I fly, my flights are going to be Delta. I could have a relationship, Governor Jesse Ventura with Delta Airlines. I could walk out to the airport, show them my passport, and they wouldn't have to search me at all. Because they, as a private sector business, would know, gee, Jesse Ventura's been flying for 30 years.
Exactly.
Jesse Ventura poses no threat. Put him on the plane.
Well, it's about being guilty until proven innocent. It's this idea that we're going to put our hands on you. We're going to take blood at checkpoints without warrants under federal grants. We're going to have the federal government everywhere.
Alex, I'll tell you what I see next. Here's what I see next. They're going to use illegal immigration to get us issued national ID cards.
I agree. Ron Paul's talked about that.
Oh, yeah. And then what's going to happen, each state is going to say, well, we don't want these illegal immigrants in our state, so we're going to have checkpoints on all the highways that lead out into our state where you're going to have to show your national ID in which to come into our state.
No, I agree. It's dangerous.
Which totally violates the Constitution. And if we, the people, get sucked in on this one, and if people sit back and say, oh, yeah, keep me safe. I mean, aren't they listening to Ben Franklin when Ben Franklin said the famous quote, those that give up liberty for security shall have and deserve neither?
Well, Governor, look at Mexico. They've got checkpoints down there, and they've got 40,000 dead in the last 3 years. Checkpoints.
That's right. And I go through those checkpoints all the time down there.
Yeah, checkpoints do not keep you safe.
No. Because what do you think? The criminal's going to go through the checkpoint?
No.
Christ. I mean, it's so stupid.
Well, the drug cartels just attack the checkpoints. Now, we're running out of...
It's like, Alex, at the airports. To get on the tarmac, all you got to do is have a slide-through card. You know, like a credit card? You just slide it through a thing and you're out on the tarmac.
Well, listen, I certainly don't have the money for a private jet, but I've got friends who've got private jets. And Charlie Sheen's come to town and picked me up before. And you just pull right up and walk right through, no security, and I'm on the tarmac.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fraud.
It is a total fraud. Now, listen.
The whole thing is a total fraud. People better start waking up to it and stop sitting out there saying, oh, keep me safe. Protect me at the airports.
Wow, Jesse, so much good info we've talked about, so much common sense. What about Ron Paul? You know, I asked you on the phone, I said, Governor, are you going to run for president? Tell folks what you said.
Well, first of all, if Ron Paul would quit the damn Republican Party and run as a libertarian, that's what he is. He's not a Republican, he's a libertarian. The libertarians have ballot access in all 50 states. Ron Paul could be the libertarians' candidate for president. That's what needs to happen. Let's elect a president that isn't a Democrat or Republican. Then Ron Paul takes me as his running mate. Why? Because I'm the best insurance policy he could ever have. There ain't nobody going to kill Ron Paul and let Jesse Ventura in there.
That's a good point when you made that. Well, Jesse, listen, you know, I talked to Ron Paul privately the last time he ran in this time, and he said, I don't know if I'm going to run, Alex. And I said, look, you're as smart as I am or smarter, Congressman. You're going to win by injecting real issues, anti-war, all the rest of this stuff, pro-Constitution. You got to run. He said, no, he said, no, that's a good point. I probably am. I am telling Ron Paul here on air, and I'm saying it to Ron Paul listeners and supporters to let him know this. And I know it's already been run past him. He has said he'll only run using the Republican machinery because he has a real shot at winning. But if he doesn't win the Republican primary, if he runs as the Libertarian candidate, he will get the nomination. He'll get a strong showing. He could get double digits and be in the pole position like Ross Perot was before Bush threatened him and he dropped out. And Ron Paul does have a chance to win, and you could join the ticket, or you could be part of the cabinet if he offered it. But regardless, then he'd be in the main election challenging Obama and Mitt Romney or whoever else is there. I'm drafting Ron Paul. He must run as a libertarian if he loses the Republican primary.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with that. And I'm telling you, if Ron Paul took me as a running mate, we wouldn't just do well, Alex. We could win.
I know. People love you.
That right for me, because I never enter races with the thought of just doing well. Jesse Ventura doesn't do things just to do them well.